the Lord have mercy, had Abba Bivens come out, had Elder, High Priest Ariel, High Priest Jacob, had his men basically raised up all the way down to the apostles, Apostle Tahar and down, bring this word up, man, and basically waking us up to who we are, and then building us up in the spirit for the times to come, man. Which we're in. It's this this thing that the vision's haste already hasten, man. The vision's here. It's like if you had a movie, you had what is it called? The fucking trailers and shit. Trailers are done. The movie's already started. It's like part when what's it called, man? The first part of the movie, Act One. That's what I'm talking. Act One of the movie, where it's the build up, man. And then Act Two is when shit starts getting messy, man. All the action's popping off. That's when Esau, pulls out all stops, and it is, he's gonna be coming with full force, man. Then the final act. That's when Yahushua makes his return, man, and Jake get raised up. So it's the movie's in play, man. When in that theater, when the Most High's play, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's play, and we're doing our part. But that's what it's his men, us. It's for us, to be built up, man. And that's how the Lord always deals, man. The Lord has his men. Like I read earlier, he's got 7,000 men that won't bow the knee to Baal, which is what, 144,000 and 1/3. The Lord's had his men that's been built up, that are basically going to endure through those times. Okay. Then answered I before thee and said, Behold, Lord, I will go as thou hast commanded me, and reprove the people which are present. But they that shall be born afterwards, who shall admonish them? Thus the world is set in darkness, and they that dwell therein are without light. For thy law is burnt, therefore no man knoweth the things that are done of thee, or the work that shall begin. But if I have found grace before thee, send the Holy Spirit into me, and I shall write all that have been done in the world since the beginning, which were written in thy law, that men may find thy path, and that they which will live in the latter days may live. And he answered me, saying, Go thy way, gather the people together, and say unto them, that they seek thee not for 40 days, but look thou, prepare thee many box trees, and take with thee Sariah, Debria, Selemia, Akanus, and Asiel, these 5 which are ready to write swiftly. And come hither, I shall light a candle of understanding in thine heart, which shall not be put out till the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write. Yeah, so it's for us to endure through in these end times is what you need that word, man. That's what it comes down to. Was that what I'm saying? But yeah, for us to basically endure and build up and make it through these times, we need what? The scriptures, man, that word. Because that's basically what the Lord's had his men built through.
Because you're thinking like separation. Yeah. When you're with family, there is a
Matthew 11 and 15, it says, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows and saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and you've not lamented. Yeah, so this generation, the majority of them, they're basically not able to hear the tune, man. Their ears have been been deafened, their eyes have been made blind, man. They're not able to see. So among Jake, you're gonna have that's what we're doing right now. We're piping that tune, man. it's that word is basically being pushed out as that song that we're all singing, man. We're all singing in key together. This is why you have among GMS, and really going back to even One West, the truth's been coming out, man, and it's been that same song. Everyone's been in accord, man. Everyone's singing as one all around the earth, which is through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Because when you deal with even Matthew 24, it says, the earth's gonna go out, the word's gonna go out to the whole earth, and then the end shall come. So this word's going out, and ends ready to come. It says what we've piped unto you, you've not danced. We've mourned unto you, you've not lamented. Yeah, because among Jake, the word's gone out. But for these guys, there's no profit in it to them, man. For them, it's not going to take root. Because even I can go to what I'm looking for is not okay. Cool. We go to Matthew. Because as far as it's for Jake out here, it's with this word, man. If you've heard this word and it's not profited, then you don't know what the hell's going on, man. Matthew 13 says what? Let me start from Something 13. So Matthew 13:13 says, "Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand." It's funny as well, because even with how the truth goes out, it's like now if you go you watch the apostles' videos, them things are getting broken down in plain, clean English that you can understand this. You can understand it real easy. But then for people, it's that's how much it is a thing where the Spirit needs to work with you, man. Because as far as it goes, it's like you can hear it, but the Spirit needs to be working with you for it to take root, man, for it to have profit. And for the vast majority of Jake, the Spirit's not working with them, man. You got guys that they could be listening for 10, 15, 20 years, and they don't take root. They're just looking at it as fun and games, man. When the time of judgment comes, these guys they ain't even gonna be able to remember the name. They ain't remember nothing. Because why they were treating this thing like it was a joke, man, like it was all fun and games. But that's why it comes with faith, man. It needs to be mingled with faith. Because if it's not mixed with faith, then it's not going to build up, man. It's not going to build up to anything. And that's what the Lord, what separates the Lord's men. Those who He's chosen, those who He's built up from, just the general Jake, man. Because 2/3 is what? That's the majority, man. That's the majority of Jake out here. Ain't really gonna know what the hell's going on. They ain't gonna be down, man. So verse 14 it says, "And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should convert to their heart, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see the things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have heard them." Yeah. Because even dealing with the prophecies, it's like you've had prophets come Even a good example is Daniel, man. Daniel had what was it? I believe it was a statue. Oh no, wait, no. It was Daniel 7. So that was the beast. He had the beast broken down to him by an angel. An angel broke it down, but it gave him a headache, man. He couldn't get an understanding. But now we're in that time. We're in the time of the end when these things are being revealed. Because like I said, if you can go to the Apostles channel, these things are being broken down in plain, simple English, man. It's real easy to understand, but you know, it's still a mystery. People still don't have no clue what the hell is being spoken about in the scriptures. But hey, that shows this is a matter of the spirit, man. Because verse 18, hear ye the parable of the sower. When and as well, this is why. Okay, let me go on. So, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not. Lost it again. Okay, so parable of the sower. So, verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth them, catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received the seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiving. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Yeah, so you got guys where they might endure for a bit, but then it's like what persecution comes, man. They might have trouble with family, women, workplace, job, money, life. All, you know, there's various ways, myriad ways by which troubles can come. And it says what and that would just choke them out, man. It says, he that also receiveth the seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. Yeah, so the care of this world, man. That's the guys that are looking forward to going back to to doing the usual madness as soon as lockdown's over, man. Because hey, that's how it is with this word. It's this thing's got to be your main key focus, man. Like it says, you can't serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and serve Mammon, man. You can't have your eye needs to be single, man. You can't have a split focus. Because that's how people are in this world, man. These people in the world, they're focused on, you know, whether it's their career, their woman, or whatever. These guys will be working and grinding and striving for that, you know, through carnal means. But then this is a matter of, you know, serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which means you're basically focused on spiritual matters, man. You're not focused on, you know, the worldly, the carnal. And it says what? But he that receiveth the seed into good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Yeah, so those are the men the Lord basically has set up. Those are the ones that he foreknew, the ones that he chose, and basically for them it's the ones that he foreknew, the ones that he chose, basically set up in the spirit, man. And that's who we, you know, whilst we're striving, we're working, we're basically doing it in the hope that we're among that number, man. What was I gonna? Okay, so Hebrews. Hebrews 11:1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith, by faith, the elders obtained a good report." Because hey, the men recording the book, the men that basically recording the book for, you know, for the correct reasons, Because you got guys like Korah, you got guys like Saul, where they're recorded in the book, but they're examples of what not to do, man. Says what? Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Yeah, so, you know, there was nothing there. But then, you know, through Yahushai was the one that made the worlds, man, which I think is Hebrews 1. By faith, Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. Yeah, that faith that Abel had, that's what Cain lacked, and that's the same thing. It's the same flaw Cain had when he came back as Esau, and you know his nation has to this day. Basically faithless, man. This guy, you know, he sold his birthright for raw meat, man. Man wanted that red pottage. Because he was like, you know, I'm gonna die, man. What's the you know, the blessing gonna benefit me? But you know, this guy was set up in the spirit anyway, because the prophet they went to before said, and that's why it's this thing. It takes faith to understand it, man. Because if you just read this, you know, carnally, the spirit ain't working with you. You're going to be like, yo, this don't make no sense. By which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. It said his blood cried unto the Most High, man. Because that's after he passed. You know, in the spiritual realm, it was pleading, man. Which is what, you know, all the men that have died in the faith, they're pleading to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to end this place, man. To get us, basically, you know, have Israel be saved, have Yahushai, you know, make his comeback and get his kingdom, man. Which, that's what we're witnessing, that's what we're in the time of. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because the Most High had translated him. But before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High. Yeah, so even Enoch, man, he pleased the Most High. He was beamed up, and that's why it's. Yeah. Okay, let me go on. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Yeah, so you know, faith is required, and faith is that gift that's given. That's why it's for you, you know, for any of the men that have abide in this word, abide in this truth, that you know, push his message out with faith and sincerity. For them, it's the Lord that basically gave that faith to them, man. And that's how much this thing is, man. This is something where the Lord had his men set up from before the world was made, and then so now we're playing things out, man. And that's why it's like, you know, you go through all of the Lord's men. It's through the Spirit. They basically, like, they won't have known how it's gonna end up, but then it's you can tell the Lord was dealing with them from the first, man. Because okay. This is what, by faith Noah, being warned of the Most High, of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became the heir of righteousness, which is by faith. Yeah, so Noah, even back then, because if you know, it's even with now. It's because we've been out here saying like America's going to be destroyed for the longest time, man. And people ain't really sitting there thinking America's going to be destroyed, man. Kind of looking at you like we got a screw loose. But that's something which hasn't been manifest yet, man. It says what? Faith is the evidence of things not seen, man. So these, just like with, it requires faith for you to basically be moving like, okay, America's going to be destroyed, the kingdom of heaven's going to be set up. That's how it was with Noah saying, it was going to be rain and it was going to flood the earth, man. Because rain hadn't been around, you would have had people scoffing to high heaven, man. And that's how the Lord gets down. The Lord always has, these, where is it? 2 Peter 3. Lord always had men out here scoffing, talking mess, man. But then what? It plays out in the end. In the end, it's manifest, who's right, who's wrong. So 2 Peter 3, 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. And that's the general approach of this society now, is everyone just wandering after their own lust, man. It's basically that do as thou wilt spirit that, what's his name, promoted, man, Aleister Crowley. This guy was one of the highest level witches on the face of the earth. And then his doctrine was what? Do as thou wilt, man. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Which, when, surprise, surprise, you build the foundation of a society on top of that. It doesn't really work out in the long run. But that's what everyone's in the spirit of, man. Everyone's in that do as thou wilt spirit, where they're just wandering after whatever carnal means they desire. So and saying, where is the promise of his coming? Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. Because everyone's basically like, yo, just, we're still here. Because the thing is just like in ancient Israel, man, them guys in Jerusalem would have been like, yo, you man still talking about Israel's going to go down. When Jeremiah was telling the king that Israel was going to be guided into slavery on some heathens, them guys weren't looking to hear it. But no one ever wants to hear when they're going to go down, man. Same with Babylon, same with Persia, same with Greece, same with Rome. These guys, Rome didn't even want to acknowledge they fell, man. When you deal with how it's recorded, they just call it the decline. But then the spirit was off them, man. Jake got up in there and took it over, man. And that became a whole different rulership, man. Esau wasn't, in dominion over there. But that's, people will want to, just everything to continue as it is, as long as possible, man. Hey, but not for us, man. For us, we're basically, all the wickedness out here. This chafes against the spirit, man. Because even since for the longest time, it's not even how I want to word it. As far as what we observe, what we see on a day to day, it's infuriating, man. It's insufferable to live through this place, man. All you have is wickedness happening on a grander and grander scale every day, man. Every day this place is even more chafing against the spirit to be here, man. But hey, we have. But from what we're seeing, from us seeing that basically this place is going down, man. This place is toast. This place is done. We see prophecies flying off. Then it's like what? That basically gives us, essentially boosts us up in the spirit, man. So we know, hey, this place is done, man. We ain't gonna be here much longer.
It's out of control.
Same things that other people will be looking at and feeling unwell. So it says, verse 5, continues away from the beginning. So verse 5, for this they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the heavens were of old and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. Yeah, the world that previously, let's talk about in the time of Noah, man. Back then, that whole world that ended, man. And there was 8 people were saved out of it. This is a thing that's been forgotten, man. These examples aren't taken to heart. Let me quickly
Not with candles, if you want, but you have to go there.
Yeah, you do. I was angry.
Okay.
你不是你的头发，所以有那个太阳。呢個係我 laser 嘅，等於太陽。
It's gloves, man. Okay, 2 Peter 2 and verse 6. It says what? And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So yeah, the examples are there, man, in the scriptures. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah, that's an example of all the madness that they basically wandered into. They were judged for it, and it was it's recorded, man. Esau's gone to these places and verified that these guys got smoked off the face of the earth. But what people ain't heeding the warning, man. First says what so back in chapter 3, so 2 Peter 3 and 7 says, but the heavens and the earth which are now by the same are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Yeah, so just like you had the previous end of the world happen through water, this one's gonna happen through fire. And that's why you've basically had nuclear proliferation as a thing, man. Like even to this day, that shit still ain't stopped. That's why fucking Iran having a nuclear program is such an issue, man. The Lord's basically put the spirit on for those missiles, to be stockpiled. Why? Because that's a tool that's going to be utilized to bring about the end of America, man. It says what? Verse 8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Yeah, so, but even that all can only really apply to the elect, because all of the elect are going to come to repentance. Outside of that number, salvation's not been extended any further. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Yeah, basically a level of destruction that's not been seen before. And this is something that's far away imagination, man. For most people, only exists as a scene and in a movie. Hey, but these things have been promised. And that's why it's like, if you have that gift of faith, your eyes have been open to it. But if not, you're just, you're going to hear it and you're just going to be like, this guy's out of his fucking, he's off his rocker. But it says what? The elements shall melt with fervent heat, the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So yeah, seeing all this is going to be dissolved. Because this is the what the scoffers are focused on, man. All the carnal means, all the joys to be enjoyed in the world, man. Being able to go around, go on holidays, have a good time, get married. Even in marriages, man, it's like, I think there's still shitloads of people getting engaged during the lockdown. As soon as these that shit ends, everyone's looking to have either summer marriage, October marriage. Everyone's looking to basically continue in what they've been doing, man. No one's thinking like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not that time. But that's because these things aren't tangible, man. These things aren't real. These things are basically just
That's why I've been talking about.
the furthest thing, and that's why it's going to come as a thief. It says what? Looking for and hasten to the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to the promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. So we're looking. That's what we're focused on, man. We're focused on righteousness. Because right now, righteousness don't exist, man. The fact that you can't even, keep the laws correctly in this present society, that's a whole mess, man. Jake is still in a state where they're basically on the bottom, man. All this, basically, from all angles, man. This society is not a situation where if you're a so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American, you're basically gonna be, be able to be at ease, man. You ain't even able to serve the Lord. Because you go back to Egypt. What did Moses say, man? He said like, oh, let Israel leave and go serve the Lord, man. That's what Esau ain't letting go down, man. And he's also, accusing us to the Lord as well for the same thing, man. No, Esau's a joker. Man's basically going to create a world in which, keeping the laws an impossibility. Then he's going to condemn us to the Lord because of that. It's a joke. So, wherein dwelleth fire. So, verse 14. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent, that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. Yeah? Okay. So, where was that? In Hebrews. So back in Hebrews, which can down. Okay, yeah. So Hebrews 11:8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. For inheritance.